Howdy folks, Greyhawk4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. It's that time again, it's Beer 30. Let's hit it. Okay folks, for those of you that are new to this segment that I do, we call this Beer 30 for a good reason. It is time to have a nice refreshing beverage, and what I do is I try out a different craft beer for each one of these segments, and then I talk a little bit about it, what I think of it, you know, if I like it, if I don't like it, I tell you guys what it is, and then if you guys want to try it and try and find one, you know, that's up to you. And then in addition to that, we generally do just one gaming topic. I just pick a topic that's something that's relevant and that's been on my mind, and we talk about that. So without further ado, this particular Beer 30 episode is going to be Samuel Smith's Nut Brown Ale, and this is an English ale. I've had this before. It's been a long time, many years since I've had it, so here we go. Oh yeah, that is, if you've never had a true good imported English ale, you owe yourself to do that. Whether it's this or it's the oatmeal stout. There's an oatmeal stout by them, I believe. There's also one of my personal favorites is Hobgoblin Ale by the Witchwood Brewing Company. Matter of fact, I can show you. That's what Hobgoblin looks like. That's what their label looks like. Imported English Ale. I've done the Beer 30 before on this. That's actually probably one of my favorite beers in the world, right there. But unfortunately, I cannot get it here anymore. They used to have it in our liquor stores, the state liquor stores here, and for whatever reason, they quit carrying it. So, but getting back to this one, this is damn near as good as the Hobgoblin. Oh yeah. Oh. And everybody thinks I'm weird, like all the people in my gaming group, because I drink this kind of stuff. I drink it room temperature. I think you get more of the flavor without the cold killing your taste buds. When you get stuff ice cold, I think it shocks your taste buds, kind of, you know, and you don't get that full flavor. And for me, it's just a personal preference. You know, I was in Germany for 3 years, and they drink most of their stuff room temperature, maybe just a little bit cool or a little bit chilled. So, but anyway, this one has a nice little story. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you, but it's got a nice little story on the back there. See if we can. So, if you guys are able to pick up, I've seen these. You know, these are a pretty big import, so you should be able to find them. I'm trying to find real quick for you the alcohol content, because you can definitely taste that it has. It's definitely not your regular, you know, 3.2 or 5%. It tastes like it's a little stronger than that, but I don't see it on here, so I would guess it's probably somewhere in the 7 to 8 point. It's not necessarily what you would call a high point beer, but it's definitely got more alcohol than our regular American stuff that you get in the grocery store. But as you can see, it's got a nice amber color to it, nice nut brown color to it, and oh yeah. So anyway, to move on to today's topic, if you are not a paper and pencil role-playing game type person, you don't DM or play, or you have no interest or whatever, the rest of this video may not interest you, because we're gonna talk about the mechanics of different versions when it comes to combat in paper and pencil role-playing games. We're going to talk about like first edition, which we're dealing with now, and some other editions and so forth. So, fair warning, if that's not something that interests you, this isn't the video for you. But if you're still here, this is a rundown, kind of a synopsis of first edition AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Combat, that our buddy Brad, who was DMing for us for 3.5, he dug into all the DM's Guide, Player's Handbook, and all that, and he put all this together because it is extremely confusing to try and figure out exactly every little step that combat is supposed to go, and the order it's supposed to go in, and everything that can affect the order and the pluses and minuses and so forth to combat. And he is the type of guy, he likes this kind of digging into the nuts and bolts and trying to solve. To him, it was like a cryptic puzzle to try and, absolutely, definitively figure out exactly how combat is supposed to go. And even as he did this and put it out, he still said that there's still contradictions between DM's Guide, Player's Handbook, so forth and so on. So, my question to you guys is, those of you that do play First Edition AD&D, or have played, and DM, how have you guys done combat? Because I started this campaign a couple weeks ago, and they fully intended for everything to go by the book when it came to combat. And I've never DM'd First Edition that way. I have always simplified the rules to expedite the combat sessions. And basically I roll for initiative for the group versus the initiative for the whatever they're fighting, and then we go in order around the table, and we still take into consideration movement rates and things like that. But as far as getting into all the different things that if you go by the book you're supposed to do, it'll probably take at least twice as long for combat sessions to go if you do that. And what I've done, so now that Brad has gone through the trouble of doing all this, I'm leaving it up to my players to say, if you guys want to go by the book, if you guys want to go through all this minutia, every single combat, I have no problem with it. We'll do it. I'm also fine with if they want to do any version, any simplified version of that, to help expedite things. It doesn't matter to me. I'm there to tell the story of the world of Greyhawk and the Flaness and all that, and all the adventures that I have planned for them, and of course a lot of them that are not planned for them, because they're going to, just like any other group does, they'll go off the rails, and then you got to kind of ad-lib and everything, and that's part of the fun. But if they want to use us, hey, more power to us. We'll do that, and I'll let you guys know when I do my gaming vlogs what we decided on. But I just thought it was an interesting topic because when you compare this to, say, 3.5 or Pathfinder or 5th edition, where everything is a DC, and you roll 20-sided die against all the DCs and everything, and initially it's much quicker, and then of course as you gain levels and everything, there are feats and skills and so forth that influence the combats as well that have to be taken into consideration, but it's still not nearly as convoluted as this. So I would be interested to see in the comments below, what do you guys do for, say, First Edition, those of you that do play First Edition, and have any of you played, say, First Edition or Second Edition or whatever, and used a D20 system from 3.5 or Pathfinder and just said, we're just going to, even though we're doing it, modules and content from Forgotten Realms or Greyhawk or whatever, we're still going to use the D20 system, from a later edition. Maybe you guys have done that. It'd be interesting to see. So, anyway, because somebody told me that if you do it this way, if you do it going by the book, once you get it down and it becomes second habit, or second nature, it becomes a habit that it doesn't get that. It doesn't become that arduous every single time. You get used to it and you start going through it quicker and quicker. And that may be the case. So that may be what we try. So, but like I told Brad, I've had no less than 12, an even dozen different DMs throughout the years that I've been playing AD&D for the last 35 years or whatever. And I don't remember any of them using all these, going through all this detail and everything. So, be interested to hear your comments. I really will below, and I will try to respond to every single one of them if you guys have questions or whatever. And you can look forward to the gaming vlogs we're going to play tomorrow night. We're also playtesting the new espionage-themed role-playing game that the new TSR that I'm part of the company that we're putting out. That we want to debut here in the near future. We're doing the playtesting right now, and there'll be, when I do my gaming vlog, I'll go more into detail about it. But that's what we did last Friday. We did the playtesting for that, and so we're going to alternate. We're going to do first edition, and we're going to playtest until the playtest is over for this, and there'll be much more information to come on that. So that's it, guys. I hope that you are enjoying a nice, refreshing beverage of some type, and feel free to tell me what that is down below as well. So until next time, guys, we'll catch you on the flip side.